Hey guys, just about to do a load of laundry and I thought I would share some care instructions for all of your activewear. Basically, I put all of mine together. I do it on a cold cycle. Actually, I'm going to do delicates because that cycle's a little shorter. I think it's a little less water. And so pop these in here. So I do all of my activewear. And then I'm just going to mix in some other stuff because it needs to be done. Socks. All that stuff is fine on delicate as well. So then I'm going to do just a really mild detergent. I like to use this Ecos, this Magnolia and Lily. Scent is really nice. So I'll do half a cup. I'm not crazy about using too much detergent. I just don't think most wearing of garments that we do, I don't feel like they're that dirty. So that's it. So cold water and delicate cycle. Honestly, you could do them by hand if you wanted to. Now that we're in a different space, we have a washer and dryer, but otherwise, I didn't have a lot of control over the washer and dryer units at our apartment. So I ended up, if I really thought that something was super delicate, I ended up hand washing it, and then I would hang dry. So we'll go through that later. All right, that's it. All right, time to dry. Wash machine is done. Actually, it was done a while ago, but life happens. And because it was a mixed load, I'm going to be putting some of them in the dryer and mostly the activewear to hang dry. What you really want to be cautious of with activewear is heat. Heat with the washing water, especially with drying. Because of those rubber fibers in the spandex, if you add heat to the mix, you're really going to start to lose the integrity of the piece. The stretch won't rebound like it should. Especially you'll notice that with elastics in the leg holes of leotards and things, or the arm holes. You really start to lose shape altogether, and that's no good. So what I like to do when you hang dry something, if you have a drying rack, go ahead and do that. That seems like a great way to kind of drape your garment over, but I don't have one like that. I have a rod up here that I sometimes hang pieces, maybe off of a hanger even. But for activewear, I really like to make sure that I don't get any weird folds or creases as I'm hanging things. So what I find that works is just laying out a bath towel, and then I just kind of organize my piece. And you know, when they come out of the dryer, the spin dry function is pretty good. So they're not super wet, they're not dripping. If you're hand washing things, and you try not to really wring it out and stretch it, but try and get as much water out as you can. And then I sort of organize it here so that it can just start to dry naturally. And I'll probably have to come back and rearrange it a little bit so that it gets completely dry. And one thing I forgot to mention before is I like to turn my activewear inside out occasionally so that it's not too much wear on the outside. And so at this point, I can flip it back around, and I'll just lay these here for now and come and check on them in a little bit, see how it's going. If you were in a hurry and you didn't want to just babysit these all day, you could throw it in the dryer. So I think what works for me is adding some other pieces in, some other soft pieces in too, so it's just not taking the brunt of constantly being rotated in the dryer. What you want to do too is definitely double check that you got your lint cleaner clean. That can really slow down the process if there's not clean air in there. Okay, so I'm gonna toss these in, and honestly, I think I'll maybe, for this sake, I'll maybe toss this in, and I'll toss it in with my towel too. I don't want to use any dryer sheets. I feel like that starts to break down a little bit of the fiber as well. And so if you're gonna do this, if you don't have the time, or you just want to get everything dry, you want to use a really delicate cycle. So as low heat as possible. So I can go down to extra low here. I'm going to do that. And make sure it doesn't go too long. This is 34 minutes, which I might stop in. This is a really small load. I could probably add some other things to it, but that ought to do it. And we'll go. All right, these are done. Happy washing.